Hello, beautiful souls. It's Mary Rose from PsychicSoulmateReading.com. This video is a 3-card tarot reading for what we need to know right here and now. And I'm not going to say the date because the reading and the message is intended for you regardless of the date that you see when I've uploaded it. Even if it's years and months later, it doesn't matter because you're here for a reason. That's the way spirit guides work. So you take what you need and you leave what you don't. If something is not resonating with you, well then you need to visit back because some things in your life need to unfold for the reading and the message to take effect, okay? And even if some things are resonating, you still got to visit back because there's some more that needs to be told to you. You'll notice I didn't get that, you know, like when I've been doing readings for a really long time, practically all my life, and I have to say I always have my readings recorded, or they take notes because maybe they didn't pay attention at that time, but then they came back and they go, wow, there was a missing piece that I didn't even hear. So I always say, grab yourself a pen and paper, take notes, because whatever jumps through in your mind is the message, because it takes two to do a reading. I always say that. It's not just one person, it's two. So when I say that, the person needs to be opened, and I get a message too inside. Like I'm actually thinking when I'm doing a reading, oh, I didn't realize that that's actually telling me something, you know. So it's amazing how it works. It is. It's just totally. And so the cards that I'm working with are the Muse Tarot by Chris and Donnelly. I love these cards, and I use these in my personal readings that I do. And yeah, I just love her colors and what she uses, and she's a beautiful person and beautiful artist, and I just love these cards. So to save on time, I've already dealt the cards and I put them out for us. And the first card is the Eight of Voices. Now, what do you think when you look at that? Kind of makes you dizzy. It's black, gray, and you know, the energy. You see the energy that you get from it? Well, that is what this card means. It's kind of confusion. She is tied up. She is basically blindfolded. She is blindfolded, but yet, if you notice that there's 2 dots on her eyes, she's in self-imprisonment. She's putting this on herself. She's overthinking things, and it makes sense. It really makes sense, because when you overthink something, you're actually pushing away something from yourself that you're overthinking. When you overthink and when you're over analyzing, you actually make yourself run, like it's like chasing your own tail, like a dog chasing its tail. You're actually a hamster in a wheel. So you're actually doing this to yourself. It's actually self-imprisonment. It's a restriction. And you're putting on yourself. You're restricted by your fear. Okay, so when I say restricted by fear, it's like sometimes we allow that to happen, and it just feels better. Misery likes company, so we end up like feeding it with more fear and more paranoia, and those things, I have to say the truth, that they actually deplete your health. Your health, they do, because it creates stress. You know, it creates a lot of headache. So you might be feeling really restricted right now about something. Now, I'm getting also too that this can relate to somebody that's actually putting this on us. When I say putting, that's triggering this. We're actually allowing that person to take control of us, and we're trying to control it, okay? And allowing that person well, there's two things I gotta say. I'm getting 2 messages. Sometimes we overanalyze and we over-control something. We're trying to make something more. We're trying to get all our ducks lined up in a row. Well, it doesn't happen that way. It really doesn't. And sometimes you just have to just give it up. You have to just not try so hard, because if you are trying so hard, you're actually going to push what is actually meant to come to you in your life, like with relationships. When you overanalyze somebody, and you know, I get clients like that all the time. About love, okay? You know, I would just tell the person it's not good. They're not good for them. The person's not good for them in their life, and I would get the same question afterwards. Well, how did they feel about me when I said this, and how did they feel when I talked to them? You know, or what are they thinking of me? And you know, then there's the opposite effect. This person's madly in love with you. They love you so much, but you know, whatever the circumstances are. Well, do they feel the same way I do? Like, you're not even listening. That's what it's telling you. You need to listen or be in the moment, because you're over-analyzing, over-controlling, and also it just creates a big circle. It creates a tornado is what it's doing into your life. And also, I get as well is that sometimes people can be overbearing, other people on us, okay? And when I say that, I mean, like, I'm just getting like the energy of somebody trying to bully you. Don't ever let anybody do that. Like, that's another thing too, what this is telling me. So maybe you've been feeling like somebody has been trying to get their way from you, or they're trying to, like the energy is just, you know what I'm talking about. It's, I call it psychic vampire. Actually, it's just, it is what it is. And somebody might be overdoing something with you, and they, like, maybe you could work with this person. It could be a family member. Now, when I say a family member, yeah, sometimes we have to live with a family. Say, if, for instance, you have a, you know, it's a codependency relationship, you might be with someone in your life, and this person, it's a big thing. This person is, you know, dominating you and making you do things that you don't want to do, and, you know, you just feel like you're, you know, you got to say yes. And there's no way out. Well, yeah, there is a way out. And when I say there's a way out, there's a solution to everything. Regardless of your reasons for being with that person, maybe it's just whatever the approval that you're waiting for. I have to tell you, this can change. You're putting yourself through it, because you can be with that person, but yet you could, you know, it's like, I can tell you stories, you know, of abusive relationships that I've encountered in my past. And, you know, medicating yourself and just trying to stay with that person because you're trying to make it work out and trying to make, you know what, you got to just, I'm not saying to walk away. I'm not going there, but I'm just saying you need to take power of yourself, honor yourself, love yourself. Because, you know, when you love yourself, guess what? And you put this protection, the other person's not going to do that. And I know you might ask those questions. How? I did do a live maybe about a year or two ago, maybe a couple of years ago with Dave, and we talked about energy vampires and people, you know, codependency relationships, people taking advantage and things like that. And you know what? I will put the link on the description below. You know, you have to just press that little arrow that's on top, and just you'll see it below. Okay, so anyways, the moon was the second card, and the moon says that there's more to the situation than just meets the eye. Whatever's happening, there's a deeper reason, there's a deeper meaning. Things are happening. As we see the Luna is a mysterious, beautiful card, and also it can relate to being careful of who you trust. Okay, so sometimes we do have to be careful who we trust and who we mingle with. I always say, okay, and I love everybody, I do, but you know what? Who you associate is what becomes you. Okay, when I say that, I mean, like, your friends, they become you. Like you, it's like an energy. It's like you inherit that energy. And I'm not saying not to hang out with people that are, you know, like, well, I'm saying not to hang out with people that are naysayers, that are kind of like not supportive. You know, people that always put you down in some way. There's a lot of frenemies. Frenemies are people that are passive aggressive. They kind of are sarcastic, and they kind of say things, but they're actually, I call them frenemies, and I don't trust them. I really don't. And you got to be aware of those people that, look at it, it's coming again. It's coming again. Whoever's watching this message is hitting home. It could be your spouse. It could be a relationship. It's a communication thing. Okay, when I say frenemy, things need to be talked out. Somebody's feeling competitive with you, and there's energy there. It's just energy is what I'm saying. Okay, so there's more to the situation than just meets the eye, especially when it comes to soulmates. Like, you can have a soulmate that is a bit, you know, a bit of a frenemy. Like, we all get that. Like with our spouses, come on. Like, you know, everybody argues. Everybody, we're human. It's the best. It's the best. Sometimes it gets the best of us. But what I'm trying to say is that when these things do happen, what you got to do is you got to say, okay, you got to take a pause, breathe, and, you know, communication, talk with that person. You know, don't just like, okay, say two people that live together, one bought a painting and then the other person said, I don't like it. It makes me upset. And then I'll put it in my private space. Okay, then this person goes, I know I'm just speaking of somebody that somebody gave a reading to today. Anyways, and the person put the painting right where, like being passive aggressive, where the other person, a common shared space. Well, hey, you know, now that's the other person that hated it has to see it, and it's triggering that person. So it's like, well, I'll just give you a little bit more. There seems to be I don't know, there's something going on. There's a lot of this energy that's going on. It's a little bit of a, you know, bubbling up, things that are bubbling up. Communication is the best medicine. If you can talk it out and you can work it through, I guarantee that you'll be able to take the tools. The tools are, you know, to be more courteous and kind with that person. Why would you say that to that person? What are your motives? What are your intentions? Are you looking for that person to give some pain and some, like, maybe to attack you back so you can attack them back. And it's like misery likes company. So you have to watch this. I feel like there's a lot of anger that's going on. There's a lot of that going on. And it's just an energy. And we have, while I'm filming this, it's the spring equinox where I am. It's spring. I'm in the northern hemisphere of the world and North America. And we got spring equinox. You might be going to autumn equinox. And it's a beautiful holiday. It's a new beginnings, where autumn is like kind of waning down and going to, you know, getting ready for winter. So it's kind of like a beautiful change that's happening. So when there's changes happening, a lot of things start to shift. You know, right now we're taking a little break, but there'll be some more retrogrades that are going to be coming up. Well, it's real shake our grounds, but these are opportunities for us to release. Things come up to the surface so we can, you know, when we get triggers, can I tell you something? We get triggers so we can release them. Not because so we can go like, why is the world being like this? Why is the universe doing this to me? What karma did I deserve? What did I do in my past life? Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself, because actually you're judging yourself and you're creating more reasons for headache in your life. Remember, things happen in our life even when we feel depressed, okay? Sometimes I get bouts of depression for some mysterious reason, okay? And it just happens. It happens to the best of us. And when I get that, it's like, okay, there's something that's coming to the surface that I need to look at, something that is, you know, I'm very clairvoyant, I'm very psychic, and I feel things. And I know that I'm feeling an energy, maybe because my energy can feel, I have to protect myself from that because I'm very empathic. And being empathic, I feel the energy of my friends, my clients, even my followers, you know, and so I have to be very careful, you know. And so going through I have had a lot of stuff happen to me in the past. And so, you know, when I say that with the vertigo recently, where I was before, it was like, it was constantly happening. Things were just shifting because I thought I was happy, but I wasn't. I was anxiety. I had anxiety because I wasn't happy at planting my feet into the ground, into the new place where I was living. And we were only living there for less than a year, a little less than 2 years. And, you know, now I'm at a new place where it's completely different because I feel like now I'm home. It's like my my realtor, spirit guides, rehomed us because we got evicted, not because we didn't pay the rent. We got evicted because it's the first thing people think of, you know, when you say, I got evicted. Well, I got evicted because they bought the building and they said that they wanted to live there, but it was illegal because they actually rented it out. But anyways, we just found this out. But anyways, no harm done. It's okay. It's happened for a reason. Dirt karma. And so it's saying that my realtor, my spirit guide realtor, rehomed us to a place that we just got instantly. It was a really great place, but it was not where I liked it. I loved it. It was beautiful, but it was not, I wasn't completely happy because of the lack of light. Like I can just film this right now with the sunlight. It's not even sunny. It's kind of gray right now, but I don't even need an extra light where there was barely any light. And, you know, I work from home, so everything is darker. So with saying that, for the long story. With saying that, I kept getting vertigo and I didn't realize my body was telling me something. And things were happening, you know, I was like more lethargic. You know, I had to really push through to work out. I had to really push through to go outside. I was like really like, you know, losing it. But Zumba helped me. When I was doing Zumba, because I teach Zumba every day. I do it for myself, but that was actually because dancing, I did what I needed to do to raise my vibration. So with saying that, you find what works for you and get yourself out of that. Do something that you love to do. Be creative, okay? The Temperance was the last card, which is reconciling with your, making peace with yourself. That's what I have to say. Like through reading all these 3 cards together, making peace. I always see it as a reconciliation in some way. So if somebody comes into your head and you're saying, oh, am I going to reconcile with that person? Well, if that came into your mind, well, that might be reconciliation. I love this because I see it's more harmony. It's moderation is the key. And when you take things more at a slower pace and you release and surrender are big now. So if you can release and surrender and just let go and don't worry, that's the biggest accomplishment that you can do right now is surrendering. Do you know if you release and surrender the control, what I was just talking about, you have conquered the biggest thing in your life. You've made a huge milestone in your life if you can do that. And what I meant by that is finding the things that you love to do, connect with the people that you love, okay? It doesn't have to be a long hangout. You can just, hey, what are you doing? You know, just doing like Zoom with them or whatever, because I know a lot of things are shut down here. They're starting to open up. So my message to you is to raise your vibration, and I hope that was helpful for you. And if you're interested in getting a longer reading with me, even a healing session, I do Reiki, and I do also, oh, that's a message. I also do crystal healing as well, and I also teach tarot. Please visit my website, psychicsoulmatereading.com. And until the next video, I wish you all peace, blessings.